Welcome back. Welcome to Ricans. I'm Burning Lou.
And I'm Tanned Mo. I'm working on my tan. Go ahead,
Yes.
start it off, brother.
We are back with Ricans with a couple of subjects. The first one being animation versus live action. Which do you prefer, and what do you think about it, Mo?
Oh wow, where do I start?
Well, I have a problem.
Shoot.
Not a problem. I think it's better. A lot of people complain that whether it be comic books, live action, animation, people always complain when it goes to live action, they take away certain things. The prime example, the Avengers, Thanos didn't do everything for death. But you have to keep up with today's time. And I believe that that's what a lot of these live action movies do. They keep up with today's time. Such as the Iron Man suit. Again, it doesn't do everything the comic does or the live action does, but it came very close. Or the comic book version. Mo, what do you think?
I think I would tend to agree with that because, again, going back to the Thanos subject, we've said this before. Thanos is creating this world order, not a world order. He is committing acts of genocide for the appeal or to appease his lady love, Death, the deity known as Death. So the more acts that he thinks of genocide he can commit to, somehow she is going to fall in love with them. Okay. I can already see that if you would have brought that kind of movie to life, there are a lot of women that are going to be like, why is it that he got to kill for me for? What did I do? No. You're going to have that kind of controversy. So yes, let's go backwards. What will we use? What will we use? And I think I made the example, like Star Trek episode with Ricardo Montalban, Space Seed, where in the eugenics ward they had these Supermen, and these Supermen who were intelligent, stronger, faster than the average man because they were genetically enhanced, they wanted to rule with an iron fist. In his case, he's different. His case was he wanted to eliminate half the population in the universe because every planet in his mind was suffering from overpopulation. Resources were already wasted to the point where the hungry were going hungrier, and planets were depleting all resources necessary to keep people alive. So, and they wound up having to either create ships and explore other places, other resources to waste or whatever. In his mind, if I could get all 6 stones and just snap my fingers, rich and poor alike will all disappear, and now resources are now kept. Bellies will be filled. People will have much longer lives. Okay, I always fall into that characteristic of good ideas with bad intentions. You might have a good idea there about trying to work with controlling resources, but you have a bad idea in the fact that you think that snapping your fingers and pretty much eliminating half the population in the universe is going to solve anything. That's just crazy. Even if he was doing it one at a time before he even got the stones. That's how he got his hands on Gamora and was raising Gamora, because he took her from her family while his army was just eliminating half the populace, rich and poor alike. He didn't care. Boom, half the populace, so at least that planet's resources will be able to then sustain what's left over. I'm like, come on, it's like that's crazy. I mean, yes, it does mirror today's society, and I think in Japan that's happening, in which they're limiting, childbirth. So families are only allowed 1 child, not 2. They're also separating the husband and wife into separate rooms, so they can only sleep separately. They don't sleep together. If in the beginning, if they're allowed to have the 1 child, then that's the only time they can be together. But after that, it's separate rooms for the rest of the time.
Male.
Well, whether it's male or female, I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but I do know that they're controlling that because you got 1 billion in that small, in that country. There's 1 billion people, so it's like, yo, dude, cut it down. It's like, I thought I was horny, but no, they're hornier.
I agreed with Thanos.
Hornier.
I agreed with Thanos.
Yes.
The only thing I didn't agree with was by him eliminating half. Are you eliminating the people that had cures for certain things later on in life?
That's the problem. That's the problem with the power of the stones. You snap, and it's
You don't
whoever.
break-
It doesn't. It's not like the power it gave you to scan every mind across the universe. No, okay, keep him. Get rid of him. He's a loser. She's a winner. She's a winner. He's a loser. She's a loser. It doesn't do that.
Yeah.
It just eliminates, and that's it.
And God forgive me for saying what I'm about to say. The only one that didn't come back from that snap is the Wakanda guy.
Yeah.
He didn't come back. Sorry.
Yeah, in reality, you kind of wish that snap really would have worked and brought him back because,
that would have been awesome.
Boseman is someone I have to say when they first picked him and I further saw the first film, I was already like the comic book just jumped out of the page and boom on the screen. Chadwick did a fantastic job of it.
I actually went back and watched a couple of his old movies. The 42.
Oh,
I love that movie.
Oh my God, he was and I was like, not what? Well, yeah, I hate to say the word was. I don't want to say the word was, because he does still live in my heart because of the affection I have for the work that he's done and the human being that he is. Because I remember him standing at a podium at a benefit for, if I'm not mistaken, Denzel Washington, talking about the fact that if it wasn't for Denzel, who had sponsored all these young actors through his program, and it was so funny because he said, I know I owe you some money, Denzel. It's like you owe me a check. But it is true that if it wasn't for Denzel, there would be no Chadwick. And without Chadwick, there would be no Black Panther.
No.
So his work was, he took on challenging roles. He wasn't shying away from girly. No, he was looking for challenging roles for characters that he wanted to present to the screen. And this comic book character, it was fantastic in every sense. I mean, set aside the action and stuff like that, just the fact that he was the king of Wakanda, and then the whole idea of the traditionalisms, the history, the culture in itself, how they blended all that in, and it's like you just sit there. I was in awe. The first time I was watching it, I was in awe. It's like I clapped in the end, but I was in awe of the movie itself, the whole cinematic vision of it. And it's like I said, the comic book, and sometimes, and I have to admit, the comic book didn't really bring all that extra. I mean, you talked about lightly the history of Wakanda, but it didn't bring everything out. It didn't show the culture, the rituals, and they did bring in the different actual tribes of Africa together there in that movie. And I'm like, wow. And the only other movie I can think of that talked to the culturalism of a certain people, Prey. The one about the Terminator movie, Prey. And it showed about the Cheyenne Indian tribe, and the director, if I wasn't mistaken, was of Cheyenne descent. And she tried to bring it to life in this movie. To me, it's like I always compared it to, like I was saying, I was like, I'm watching kind of like Terminator and National Geographic. It's like, it's like I'm watching the history and the culturalism of the Cheyenne tribe, but it's Terminator because it's the predator and he's there and he's doing what he does, which is finding prey. And in this case, with Boseman and the character of Black Panther and Wakanda, they gave you the history from grandfather to father to father to son, forward and forward, and you're looking at also the different tribes that they have, all the different tribes.
Now that you mentioned Predator, I was watching a video of how the Predators were made in terms of evolution.
Yes.
They were one sex. They didn't have male and female.
Nope.
It's awesome. I don't remember too much of it, but it was pretty awesome. I wish they did a movie like that.
Well, they kind of hinted to that, like on the last Predator film, and I don't mean Prey, the one before that, in which the Predator was looking for this autistic child because he kind of figured out where they're at, and he found their helmet. And the Predator they had captured from the downed spaceship, they found out that his genetic material was half human. So it lent to the story and the idea that the prey that would be the most victorious against them, they're the ones whose genetic material they would use and put in them. It's like they were trying to create the perfect predator.
It reminds me of a character, Dale Keown's Pit. That was a great series, by the way.
That's from Image, isn't that? Yes. I'm mistaken? Oh my God, you're taking me back on that.
As a matter of fact, he was sued by Marvel because they said that it was too much like the Hulk. He won, though.
Of course he did, because it wasn't, remarkably that close to that. But again, that was was
an awesome series.
Awesome series and great character. Depth was right there. I mean, it wasn't just like some uncontrollable beast. He had character to him. There was a story to him.
He was bonded with the kid.
Exactly, and you get to see that he's not just a monster. He is a part of the kid, and the kid is a part of him. So they both work in conjunction together. And it's, you could say there's similarities with the Hulk, but no. I don't believe that one bit. I don't believe that one bit, because Hulk is more of the, the abused child syndrome. That's what the Hulk is. He's the multiple personalities that he has been through in dealing with his the abuse his father used to hand to him. So that's why when he finally became a scientist in Gamma, the first thing that comes up was the Gray Hulk. Then before that, the mindless 8-year-old Green. Madder I get, stronger I get. So that's that whole thing right there. It tells you. But no, there was a difference between the two, definitely. The other one was more functional, cognitive of what was going on versus the other one where you don't know which personality was going to switch to. Not at all.
And we'll be right back. After these words, we'll continue the topic.
Hold on to your seats. It's going to get bumpy.
Or we'll just.
Come, let's play. LDM Radio. Come, let's play. Fun is what we crave.
Let's go. You're listening to New York City's LDM Radio. Another long stretch of continuous music. Back into time. Flashback.
Make my move, gonna live my dream, gonna live my
New York City's LDM Radio.
The best radio station in the world is right here, right now.
We're back. Oh God, I hate that speed. Welcome back to another Ricans. We're going to be continuing where we left off in regarding to animation versus live action. Okay, we've already had that example with Terminator.
Yep.
And we're going back and forth, and so I don't want to cross everybody's eyes again. But another example of what I like with animation versus live action, like for instance, in the Star Wars universe, for instance, like I remember watching the trailer for The Old Republic, and it was done in 3D animation. And even though it took months, but it was a great trailer. But they had the scene where you start hearing that, that's when you're thinking the Sith are coming, the Jedi are there, and the two come out, and the lightsaber scenes that were to follow after that, the battle. I'm like, wait, this is 3D, right? And I was like, but it was incredibly done, so well done. I mean, I'm gonna admit that 3D animation has come a long way. It really has, from its beginnings, from back in the days of Final Fantasy, up to about now, even with
CGI.
The CGI behind it. I mean, it creates an example. Like, for instance, when it comes to in Marvels with Mark Ruffalo as the Hulk, you see like all the dots. I mean, they've advanced to the point where the computer now can recreate the expressions on the face. I mean, it brings context and life. The actor brings that. I think my favorite example, and I'm hearing that a part 2 is soon to come, my personal favorite movie, and I highly recommend you watch it, Alita, Battle Angel.
That was good.
Oh my God,
That was good.
Love that movie. The when I saw the behind the scenes and how the actress, wear the dots on her face, and when she's, they have side by side her and then the actual animation, and she's talking, and in the expressions, I'm like, I'm just doing a double take. I was like, I'm trying to find where is it? Does it look, like machine, and where it looks real as a person? And it was seamless.
One of the best transitions from cartoon to live action, to me, The Last Airbender. The Netflix Last Airbender.
Yes. But they went live action. I mean,
That's
they
live
really,
and they took it from they ripped the script, like they took word from word,
book for book.
Yes.
I love when they go on for book on that, because it's more authentic.
It just had a different beginning, and the beginning was better in the live action than in the cartoon.
But what I love more about it is that with the actor who plays Aang, right? Like, Aang had slept for 100 years, and he comes back. Everybody is hardened, but he still had his childlike innocence and belief. But, in the animation, they do their best in drawing that, but the live action actor really brought it in that respect. I really, because I felt really heartfelt. I'm like looking at this kid, and he's got this childlike expression and this enthusiasm. Yeah, in the animation, he felt the same way. But like when you're trying to draw that expression, like when an artist creates a mural on the wall, you could see all the expression, but that's just one thing. Now, when you're doing it in sets to create emotion, it does lose a little bit. I'm not saying it loses a lot. It just loses something in it. And then when you see Aang, the live action actor, he brings that innocence and essence of that childlike quality to life. And I'm looking at him, I'm like,
see, I'm the opposite. I like the animated version when they did that, because throughout the whole series, he does all these things, and then you forget he's a child. And he brings that up. He brought it up in the series one time, and I was like, oh, damn, he is a kid. He really is just a kid. It
is true. And in both, like I said, the story from the first one, and I watched all four, God knows how many times, and it's like, yes, and you feel the heart of the story in itself with Aang and what he's trying to accomplish. And then, of course, I would say, the love interest, but it never really developed. But in the live action, you could see a little bit more and more developing. And I'm like, I love all the I love the live action, because the actors are bringing us something a little bit more to it. They're not taking and changing dialogue or whatsoever. Like the favorite scene is for me in the first season, when he comes across his friend that when he left they were the same age, but then he was an adult, and he is an earthbender, and he was trying to show him, attack me, and trying to get him to fight and hurt him. And he's like,
basically, while you was out sleeping, this is what happened.
Right. It's like, okay, you're giving him a reality check, granted, but he still is looking at you, innocent eyes, and the hope and optimism that can change. And what did it do? It changed his outlook. He did. He was able to reach in, and he did it. And I'm like, wow. It's like, even though I know I've seen this in the animation, God knows how many times I've watched it, but in live action, it was just something, that essence that, that could not be drawn. I saw it in the actors when they brought it together.
My favorite was when he met the female avatar.
Yes, now she was badass, but scary.
They did her perfectly.
Oh my gosh, she was scary.
The makeup was done. Oh, my God.
Like I said, 2 thumbs up, big toes, all of it, bro. It was just amazing how they were able to take the animation and bring it to life. I mean, literally jump out and bring it to life.
I hope they don't take too long in bringing the second.
Oh yeah.
Because the kid is growing.
Yes.
And I hope they don't take too long in bringing up the second and third season. They need to film these things quicker.
Yeah, because he's still, while they still have him in his childlike innocence, you don't want him, taking 2 or 3 years and now what? Boom, he spurts up. Like, well, then now you kind of like.
Yeah, he's an adult or whatever. No.
Exactly.
Need to film these things quicker.
Yeah, because, you know what? Kids grow up, unfortunately. But.
Another live action movie, The Superman. When they went back to his homeworld, his father, the first 10 minutes.
Okay, you got to refresh my memory on that one.
What was it? Was it The Man of Steel? That they got basically this flying dinosaur type thing.
Okay, Man of Steel.
Yes.
Man of Steel. But the difference between that one is, and I love Man of Steel for the purpose of the fact that in all of Superman's lore, when we're talking about even from the 1977 Christopher Reeves version, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're presented with the culture of Krypton, like in Christopher Reeve's film, it was brief. You just had the trial. You had the after effect. You had the trial of the 3. Then the trial gets sent to and then the 3 gets sent to the Phantom Zone, right? Mm-hmm. But in Man of Steel, Zack Snyder he created not only a foundation of culture, factions, and people. I mean, the idea that in that time period, Kal-El was the first natural-born child in over 100 years, because somewhere along the line, they decided to opt out of doing that. They take the genetic material of the people. And when I say the people, they went after those who were soldiers, those who were engineers, scientists. They had their genetic material, and then they were creating people, but the people were with a purpose. So if you needed more soldiers, they created soldier factions like Zod. Zod was a soldier. His purpose was to defend, with his very life if necessary, the culture of Krypton, no matter what. Then you have the Scientist Guild, and all the people that are scientists, engineers, lawyers, and so on and so forth. So you kind of like took out the element of two people meeting each other, falling in love, getting to the differences between each other, and then no matter what coupling, child is born, let the child find its way in life to choose what it is he wants to become. I mean, in the end, yes, Kal-El did encompass everybody in Krypton because he took the codex, and then he took the codex, wrote it down, and then inserted it all into his son. So his son had the genetic material of a scientist, an engineer, all of that. So he had that all in him, So whatever future children he produces, they'll either be the genetic code that either they decide they want to be an engineer, be an artist, be a lawyer, or be a superhero and just protect the earth. That's all that's going to happen because that genetic material is already in him. But it doesn't predetermine the child that he has with Lois or so on. Yeah. So I love that whole concept because I'm looking at this again, back to Corn Sweat and Superman period or Superman Legacy, and I'm like, I hope they don't destroy the origin because after Man of Steel, it just became canon from that point forward, even in the comic books. Even if they're not wearing the same costume that he was in, but that still philosophy of Krypton and the heritage and the society still kept going. So I hope they don't destroy that. I hope James Gunn doesn't destroy that to give us this new version because then I'm like, man, really? Man, I understand you didn't want, you don't want Cavill, and even though for me it's like he's still to me like my Superman second to Christopher Reeve, not even second. Christopher Reeve is number one, period. and he's right there alongside there. And my third will always be Tyler Hoechlin from Superman and Lois. But each one of these characters encompasses something different. But the one thing that they're somewhat having in common is the fact that that heritage that was created by Zack Snyder is holding. Yeah. And I just hope he doesn't destroy that just to create his own version of Superman or future with it. Because I'm like, now to me, like, you killed it.
Yeah.
You really
I
killed
have
it.
a feeling he's going to kill the DC universe.
Well, he's slowly doing that. He's slowly doing
I
that.
have a feeling he's...
But he's banking it on one thing, as I said before, just the one thing. And you know what? Putting all your eggs in one basket, that's I hope. Yeah, you've had some success with Guardians of the Galaxy. I'm not going to lie. You did it, but, you did have your hit and misses with the Suicide Squad, too.
Yeah.
So let's hope this is not a miss. Hope that maybe it's a decent hit that, at least you're recovering, the DCEU or the DC universe, excuse me. Not even say extended, just the DCU in itself, and hope.
DC wants to make something good, and they need to do it, then bring Martian Manhunter.
I got a response for that, but I'm going to tell you what. I'm going to strap on, because I know we're going to go into the vortex of commercialism, and then we'll go back, and I'm going to give you my response to that. All right? Stay tuned for more Know the Ricans. I'm Easy Mo.
Oh, easy, Mo. And before we went to commercial, we were talking about the difference in live action to animation and vice versa, including comics. And we're going to go to video games a little later. But my question was, before we went to commercial, was DC needs to step up their game and not give us the same 6 core characters. They need to bring out new characters for the movie. Like, for example, let's talk about Green Lantern. Let's Martian Manhunter. I'm very curious. Martian Manhunter to me is very, very, very intriguing. He one time portrayed Superman and presented Superman for a little while. So,
my thoughts are, yes, I do want to see more of those characters. The only time I've seen the Martian Manhunter was with Zack Snyder's Justice. Yes. And that was it. But to me, it's like, that shouldn't be it. Again, James, I love your work with the Guardians of the Galaxy, but I'm hoping that you really step up the game and bring out more characters. Guy Gardner, good. And a couple of other characters, Hawkgirl or whatever, that's fine. But, some people have criticized the fact that if you bring in too many characters, then you lose the whole idea of the movie. The movie is about Superman, his younger years, and what he had to deal with, and being the symbol of hope. So I can't wait to see it and hope that happens. But you're right, because with Marvel, you don't have that problem, because you went and you they're coming with Nova. Yeah. They've already so many other, Iron Man, Thor, Captain Marvel, Captain America, the Falcon. I'm already losing fingers on one hand, and that's 5 characters in itself. Winter Soldier, yes. Okay, Deadpool, Wolverine, the X-Men. Do I need to count down the list? At least they're utilizing their characters and bringing up. Nova is still, for me, my favorite. An unknown, but they're bringing that one in. So it's just a matter of time.
One of the things that I liked about Marvel was the characters they gave them their shot.
Mm-hmm.
Winter Soldier
and Falcon.
Winter Soldier. They gave them their limelight. They gave them their time.
True.
And now, here we are, 3 years later, and
a movie.
Falcon is coming out with his own Captain America.
And just a liner note, this is the time that Anthony Mackie can now smack someone in the face back. after he was told, said, when is your movie coming out? Oh, that's right, you don't have a movie. Yes. Guess what, man? You got a movie. Mm-hmm. So he's got his movie, and I'm looking forward to it because, yes, I remember the ending, because mind you, this particular series, this particular parent, not even in the comic books where he hasn't done that much. So it was kind of fresh, brand new. He told the story as it happened. I love that ending scene where they brought in the comic book accurate, Falcon as dressed as Captain with the wings, of course, vibranium wings. But that pivotal scene where he's standing there and telling all these people who are the politicians and the makers, and he said, with a phone call, you can get food. Another phone call, you can do this. You have the power to do all these things, and you're taking it away from them, turning a 16-year-old who's now been given super soldier serum to commit acts of terrorism. So in essence, saying it's your fault. And that was great storytelling because that hasn't happened. So they used today's time, put it into this story with two characters that were on and off in the comic books and made them a cohesive unit. I thoroughly enjoyed that one. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And again, they're branching off. So you have, side note, the Thunder, is it what? Side note. Shoot. Fuck it. Right. Nomad. Well, wait, Nomad. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't think it was Bucky. I think that was Cap. Captain America was Nomad because when he just stepped off the limelight, he was Nomad for a period of time, and that was USA. No, USA Agent was a little after that. A little after that, he was a different character as well. He worked more for the government. I always thought it was Bucky. But with Winter Soldier, at least with the Thunderbolts, you're going to see him and his character develop even more. So I'm waiting. I'm looking forward to it because they have the actors and potential. Again, I'm saying this again because I really hope that Marvel pays close attention because I was reading an article, right? Just sidetrack us for a second. There's a lot more with the Calvarine that happened than just that one scene. And they're talking, Marvel's talking about not including it as far as the deleted scenes in the DVD. It should, because there's a couple of more scenes that was done with Henry Cavill. He just didn't do just that one. And though it was pivotal to say the least, because he was jacked. He's talking about a truly jacked movie. And he did a great job. He did his whole Mission Impossible Shang scene and all of that. And I'm like, and I do want to see that, play a character. Whether it's Captain Britain or Hyperion, make it happen, though, because this actor deserves that. He still has a lot of talent in him, and you already know from him playing Superman that he can bring it. As far as superheroes, he can bring it. Just give him that opportunity. Now back to live action versus, again, comic book or games. We talked about a game before, about being brought to live action. Yes, before that. Ooh, yeah. That was cheap. I think they did a pretty good job. Yeah, they really did. Better. Well, they're only season 3 right now? Season 2. Okay. I watched season 1, and I was like, wow, because I know that with video games today, like in the very beginning, when I used to be a PC hardcore PC gamer, I still am. Right? I wasn't much into the console, and then I started looking at console when they adapted the idea of creating trailers, like a movie, for the game, which then, like anything else, you get excited because you want to go see the movie. Trailers are the best part of anything when you're going to the theater because you want to see what's coming up. So no difference in gaming as well. That when a trailer comes up, and these days the trailers are freaking fantastic, and the imagination that goes into creating these storylines out of this world. Now, again, I agree. Most of these things should be on the big screen and given their just due. I mean, not just like, in case, for example, I had a favorite game called Wing Command. It was one of the very first interactive games that was a game and a movie. So you play the character, then you fly a mission. You're successful, the movie continues. But if you fail, you die. Then you have that beautiful, how can I say, send your casket into space ceremony. I cry each time. Every time I die, I literally cry because I'm sending into space, like Spock in Star Trek 2. So, but when Wing Commander 4, The Price of Freedom came out, and that was when gaming went from CDs to DVD. The quality was so much better. The story and produced the movie was even better. When they took it, and put it to the screen in the first ever Wing Commander movie, man, I wanted to do a Jay and Silent Bob and fly over and find this guy who directed. I want to stop myself right there. I wanted to do that. Are you this director? Okay, cool. Throw it away. This hail make on this ball. Oh my God, it was so bad. So bad. I'm like, they took elements, like you figure, like, how hard is that to mess up, though? The blueprint in the book is right there. You look at it. What we were talking about with the Last Airbender. The cartoon, the animation is there. You just follow it through the script, no problem. Put it into the live action. The live action, recreate. So you have the technology now to recreate that which is done in animation. Beautiful. But this, they screwed it up, though. They screwed the pooch. They screwed the pooch on this one. Big time. Exactly. I remember during this discussion. But then there are others like The Lord of the Rings. That was cinematic masterpiece. Cinematic masterpiece. I can never get tired of watching that extended version short. I don't care what version you give me. I can never get tired of seeing that. I'm not sure about you, but when I was a student, I was I think I had that same read too. And again, I wasn't too much into the book. When I saw the animation, I was like, wasn't that great? And I was like, but it got me interested in reading the story. The books were awesome. Oh yeah, because it's like they're Bible thick. Some way they're thicker than the Bible. And for you Harry Potter fans out there, you know what I'm talking about. Like book 5 or 6 that are like 10, 3 or 4 testaments and stuff. That would be an interesting animation. That would be. Harry Potter? That would be a very interesting animation. It would be. But the thing is, they brought that thing to life, and I don't know if personally, I don't know if animation would give it any justice, because the way they took the book and then thanks to CGI, bringing what they did bring to life in the creatures, Voldemort, the magic, all of that, and it was like, I don't know if animation could do any better. No, I doubt that. Though. This is one of those things I would say, don't touch it, don't animate it, unless you do a completely new story, separate, like a branch off of a character, whether it's Hermione or even Harry himself. Okay, I could see that business. Yeah, I could see that too, because in that respect, you're branching out into the Harry Potter universe, and you're taking a character and branching out more, just like what Star Wars did. Like when they did Rogue One, that was the beginning of branching out outside of Luke, Leia, Han, Chewie, and Lando, and you're branching out. And it was, I was like, well, at first I was like, Rogue One. By the time I was in it, I was doing like the blind guy. I am the Force is with me. I am the Force is with me. I was like, wow, it was like so good, and especially that scene with Vader coming in and just what? And with Harry Potter, if you was Harry Potter, you wouldn't have to go with you have to use Harry. No. You could use the school itself. Yeah. there's a lot of myths, there's a lot of stories, a lot of different creatures and characters you haven't even touched yet. I mean, what, Dobby wasn't even about what the book? Yeah. But he was, he was part of that. Dobby was a great character. I love Dobby. What he went through, what he struggled. He was very good. Like with Lord of the Rings, they did with Smeagol. Am I precious? Yes. I'm speaking of precious. I love the Lord of the Rings when he was arguing himself. Oh, yeah. They did a wonderful job with that. But that's the same actor who was the Caesar, who's also the Caesar from Pamela the Eighth. Oh, yeah. And I'm telling you, it's like, it's like good acting, voice acting, and otherwise bring out the character that you put on. That I always say that if you read it, pray that it translates to the screen the way you want it, the way you envision it. Don't be surprised if there's some shortcuts taken, but as long as the core storyline that you love so much is kept, you're gonna be. Oh, live action? I would love to see that anime in live action. I would love to see that. That would be, oh my God. I would have to tone down on this. But, okay, now you love. But yeah. But otherwise, yes, I would love to see that brought to life. I mean, I would like, big time. And with that, thank you again for being part of our show again. And if you have any comments, concerns, or you want to bring up something, go into our Facebook page. But we'll be right back with another commercial, because we have one more commercial left, and then we're going to wrap things up and tell you another story of something that came to mind just now. But wait till commercial, we're going to get into it. And we're back. Sorry about that earlier. Mixed signals, but after you get spun around so many times in and out of the vortex and from commercial, it's the light. It's the light, and the light is good. No, don't follow the light. But again, going back to the subject of animation, live action. You brought up a good one with Ninja Scroll, and then it made me think. And there was another anime that was brought out. And it did have 2 live-action films following it. The first one, I have only one word, caca. That's the only one I can come up with. And I know you're going to have the eyebrow raised, so I'm going to say caca. Which one? The Guyver. Bio Booster Armor. Oh, it is the Japan's anime version of Iron Man. But the whole storyline was based on the fact that the race of beings was using humans as testing grounds for warfare. So basically, in order to fight themselves, they were creating weapons. The first one was the Zoonoid, which was like, think of werewolves or whatever, vampires, to turn humans into that. And so they would use them as the soldiers to fight their war. But when they became ineffective, then they created the Bio Booster Armor. And then that was their soldier from that point forward. But the only problem is that the soldiers rebelled against the aliens, thereby then overthrowing them. So that's why they call them the Guyver, which the word itself means out of control. They did the first live-action film, and in that live-action film, there was Mark Hamill in it, and then they had this unknown who was playing the part of Sean Barker, who wound up getting the suit and transforming into the suit, but it was comical at best. It was comical at best. Yeah. I mean, because they had, and you remember Good Times? You remember Good Times? That's the old show back in the 70s.
Yes.
Good time.
Yes.
J.J. Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Dynamite! He was in that movie. And he played a Zoonoid. And when he transformed, he was a floppy-eared, bubble lip. I mean, that man, but he had life raft flotation devices for lips and the earring hanging out of it. And I'm like, and Mark Hamill was in this movie, but he wasn't the guy. But when they advertised the box of the movie, they had Mark Hamill's face underneath and the Guyver above, giving you that illusion that he is the Guyver. So, of course, hanging on his name and bringing him in, no. And I'm going to give you the spoiler alert. Why? Because it's Gaga. They turned him into a caterpillar. Okay? He became some sort of, I don't know, mariposa. They turned him into that. He was not the Guyver.
We can't say his name, but
Or shite, if you're Irish, if you want. But the second film, they redeemed it. So I highly recommend it. Please, not just the first Guyver film. If you, I like the second one. Guyver Dark Hero was more accurate to the anime than there was the first one. And it had more action, better action. The choreography was perfect. And the special effects, even for something in '94, that if it was in theaters now, it would be better. And I like that one better. That one much better than the first. I mean, you want me to tell the truth? Tell you any truth? Make me watch that movie. I'll tell you anything. Just I don't have to watch it. That's how bad that movie was. But this one actually redeemed itself in my eyes as far as going to the core of what the Guyver and the Zoonoids and I forgot the name of the corporation that they were fighting was about. Boom, there you go. But they never made a third one after it. They always talked about it, but never really came into fruition. But to me, if they did it again, as long as it kept the formula of the very first film, the first anime that came out, I would say definitely.
what specific film? Was that it was a straight up movie? There was nothing before that.
That's Guillermo del Toro, man. That was the mind of Guillermo del Toro with a good story and his love for kaiju films, Godzilla, and all that. He brought that up.
There's a Kickstarter for the third book.
I'll invest. I think it's an excellent book. Another one that got translated in reverse, which was Underworld. If you got like I think it was on the fourth Underworld.
It was originally written as a comic.
It was,
but it didn't turn out.
No, it became live action. Yes. And I remember I got the compilation series, which led up to the fourth film, but they did a short story version. Really? It came with the edition, the additional anime film. You bought like the first 4 films. It'd be a box set, and let me tell you, that anime was good. Another one like that too, The Witcher.
I never got into that. I gotta go.
Oh, The Witcher is really good. And they did an animated short film based on The Witcher. So that one, I mean, I know 4th season is coming up, and it ain't gonna be Cavill. And I remember how it ended, and I'm like, damn. I know it's not. It's Liam Hemsworth. Not Chris, but Liam Hemsworth. I've seen his work, and I think it's pretty good. But again, I'm stuck on Henry Cavill in that respect because he made it a point that when they were doing the series that they followed his book. That's how I'm going to stick where he was with it, and I appreciate that because you want, like I say, you want the story. I mean, it wasn't 100% translation, but at least the majority of the book that was based on brought it up. I have to give it credit on that. So we'll see what the 4th. Now that he's not in it, and it's Liam, is he? Are they still following that, or are they going to come up with something different? That will be the case for season 4, final season. But when season 4 comes up, and Liam Hemsworth who's taking over as as Gerald of Libya. And if they did the live action the same way they did like Pacific Rim, like so that way when the robots form, and they form into that one giant robot, it doesn't look something like out of Power Rangers, right? That whole bulky thing. No, I want it to look like it's a very boom parts movable, even if it's lion's head and lion's feet. But that function is really good when the sword comes out. Just the same way the Gypsy Danger in Pacific Rim when they said sword and that thing comes out, bang, comes together. Oh, yeah. I would love to see that. Oh my God, you don't know. You can do Power Rangers, you can do the Five Lions, you can do Voltron. That's what I think of. That's one of those shows that I can remember being a young adolescent kid. I wasn't even into girls. Just there, boom, 4 o'clock. Make sure I was home. I was watching Voltron. Yeah, Voltron. That was a jam. I had to watch that. Oh my God! And then of course 11:30 Star Trek.
I'm sorry. I think we deserve a live action.
Oh. You know what? I can't agree more with that. I cannot disagree with that. I would love to see a Darkwing Duck. And the only reason why I say that, at the end of Guardians of the Galaxy, the first one, you see Howard the Duck.
Yes.
More than one movie, you see Howard the Duck. And I'm like, damn, you could do Howard, you could do Darkwing.
Yes.
If you could do Howard, I want to see a Darkwing. That would be so awesome to watch.
Yes.
So awesome to watch. I don't care if you CGI him or not, but still, it would be awesome to watch. This just ends. Voltron 2025 teaser. The gods have answered our prayers.
That was the quickest. That was the quickest God ever answered.
I'm serious, bro. Where were you when I asked for a divorce? But yeah, it's a teaser trailer in 2025, and look it up on YouTube. It's there, and I'm looking at this. Oh, okay. I'm looking at this, and I love this the AI version of this. I would love to see this with these actors, John Cho, Jesse Isaac. Oh my God. Who else? Michael B. Jordan. Oh my God.
Is this a actual?
No, this is an AI version host. But I have to admit, looking at these characters and who they're playing them, I'm like, Tom Holland.
That would be.
I would love to see that.
That movie would be
I would love to see that.
Too expensive to make right now.
But then again, it's like no risk, no reward. If you can get that ensemble cast and put that together and make it happen, but I mean, make it good. Don't just do something cheap, because then it's like now you threw money out the window. If you make it really good and give homage to the animation and to the fans who love this thing, you'll be creating a whole new universe, a whole new set of fans who will be following. Because I know that they redid the animation of Voltron the second time. Like, 2 seasons set up, and then they had an ending done. And it was alright. I mean, they kept within the realms. Right, and they didn't go off track. They still kept within it, but they eventually had an ending to the war. Boom. Voltron goes back, and the Lions just stay in their stationary position. But to me, I was like, I needed something new. I would love to see it if they do Voltron, but they do both.
Yes, the cars, the vehicle modes.
The vehicle mode Voltron versus the 5 Lions. Because they did one movie in animation where both were together. My God, I was like, oh my God, how did I not know about this? And I watched it thoroughly, and I was, oh, yes. And then they both pulled out their swords. Boom, this one pulls out this one puts a lion, pulls out. I'm like, what? And then thinking about what you're saying, I go, wait, this is live action? God, oh my God, that would be so awesome to watch. I'd say, fed. You do that, I'm going to throw this shit at you, okay? There you go, take my freaking wallet, there you go. I'm going to watch it. I'm going to throw money at you like a stripper. whole money negotiation. It's like Star Trek 4. You know, they have a story, but they have money and stuff. Thank you. I need this.
By the way, the voice you heard wasn't God. That was Mr. Charles Laloma, our engineer and producer, and Jerome Gogan.
You got it. So yeah, I mean, like Star Trek 4, they're just sitting there and they're still going to talk. Cast is ready, but again, it's now they have a newer director and they have a newer storyline, and again, the money is there, and it's just waiting for the green light. And this is supposed to be, from all retrospections that I've read so far, that they're supposed to correct the time. The Kelvin timeline to make it canon. They already did it in Star Trek Discovery, I think in season 3 or 4, where they discussed that. They discussed how they corrected the time. But the thing is, now they have to bring it to the screen for the original cast. And then the cast wants to get together. I mean, except in Yelchin. So they're going to have to figure out how to either recast Chekhov, or say something as far as what Chekhov is concerned, if he's someone else. But then again, it's just a matter of the script, the script and story, and boom, then you have to get together and do it. Yeah. I mean, as a fan, I'd love to see that fourth one and put everything to the canon and kind of give it the closure it deserves. It really is a good series. It's had the ups and downs, but there's still a good cast. I look forward when I picked August and J.J. Abrams for now. Like I said, bringing the live action and then the animation, putting it together, bringing it to life. And this is no different than the other stuff. And with that, we have to say thank you for again joining us on another edition of the Weekend. Look forward to seeing you again the next time. Don't forget, go to our Facebook page if you have any ideas or something that you want us to talk about. Bring it. We'll definitely bring it to you, our fans and our audience. Okay? Again, I'm Easy Mo.
I'm Guru Vito.
Stay tuned. Live long and prosper.